Hey, welcome to the communication, leadership, and team training. And you can choose a project in the team training and do whatever you want to do. Like if you want to join, like with you, CU2 now, it's like an altruistic kind of thing. We're doing something for the greater good, and we have like ground rule that nobody gets paid in this project. So there are no salaries, and that's a cool thing. It's you can get people on board for such a mission. You organize an event, you organize something for the greater good, and nobody's really making profit on money on it. So that's cool. A lot of people will help you and assist you. You can enroll team members into this. But now imagine you want to do something like your own business. You want to deliver a very good service like coaching, consultancy, training, something like this. And you really have a good idea how to bring something valuable to people. But you also want to generate money because you have to live and pay some stuff. So it's basically about you are growing a business and you need clients and stuff and assistants. So now it's sort of hard to, let's say that, I'm doing this so great service that everybody is working for you for free and you make money out of this and maybe lots of money out of this. So you can maybe make this possible, but I would think of making it a little bit simpler, and that is offering them money. So, because if you want to, one of the most important things when you start a business is getting your clients. That's a lot. I had a startup with some people, and we didn't go for sales and marketing all the time. We did for all the other stuff, but really we didn't do much on sales and marketing. So the whole thing failed. It's very, very common. People are going for the content of the stuff instead of for sales and marketing. And by the way, you could do 90% of these kind of things. It's about sales and marketing. 10% is about developing your content. Yeah. So 90% is sales and marketing. So you want to have a sales and marketing team. And now let's say you want to have you are offering the service, and now you need salespeople who go out and find clients with you. You also make another video on what you can do, but really having a sales and marketing team is really a good idea. So how do you get them? Well, you could pay them, but then there's a lot of people who say, pay me a lot of money and then I do lots of stuff for you. Yeah, okay, that works. But the other thing would be hey, you offer people commission. You say to somebody, hey, I'm going to do this consultancy work, for a client. And you get 50% of the contract, 50%. So let's imagine you're doing 10,000 euros or something, 10 grand on a contract. Somebody brings you the contract, you work 1-2 weeks or whatever, and you get paid 10,000. And you give 5,000 for the person who just gave you the telephone number to call and say, hey, you are there, and that person just gave you the telephone number. You give that money to the person. Why? Because they brought you a client. And you can make money maybe with that person with that client afterwards. But really, whatever you really offer, you have to fulfill it. If you say 50% on, hey, you bring me a client on that contract, or you say for 1 year or for a certain time frame, or say you could go out and say, hey, I'm going to pay for my first 10 contracts. Yeah. I'm going to pay 50% commission. You bring me the clients on my first 10 contracts, you get 50%. And then you're going to pay that to the person. Even if they just give you a phone number and say, hey, call this guy, they probably need your service. So, and you do even all the selling, but that person introduced you to that. You give the 50%. Imagine you give you earn 100 grand on one contract doing your thing, and you give 50,000 to that person. They think you are insane. They just gave you a telephone number and get 50,000. Imagine that. Yeah? But this is one of the ways you can do to get clients, because you get motivated people to actually do that for you what you want. You want to have somebody bringing you a client, and then you make the contract, the sale, and then your production. Are you going to offer this forever? I don't know. It really depends on how many clients do you get, how good you are with this kind of thing. Maybe you, after an initial phase, you lower your commission on 30 or 20 or whatever percentage, that it's really interesting for people to bring you new clients. Or you generate your clients afterwards. But that's the step when you have so much stuff to do. If you need somebody bringing a client, offer them a really insane commission that they think you are absolutely stupid. But when you start a business, hey, do the contract, get the money. If you don't have that number, you're going to make nothing. So that's like your offer. And the cool thing, to motivate people by money, by giving them a contract, which an offer they can't refuse, like the Godfather. I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse. That's something like this. You could go out like to a business network. There's like these business networks, and where like people meet, and then you just say, hey, I'm doing this consultancy stuff, and I'm offering to, you bring me a client on my first 10 things, or in the first year, I'm offering 50% commission. You introduce me to the client, you get 50% of the cash flow. That's one important thing. You probably all looked into this video until the end. You don't want to pay them for the order intake. There's order intake, then there's revenue, and then there's cash flow. So the money coming in. When the money comes in, they get paid. If the client doesn't pay, still you provided no pay for that guy. It's like you want to have the cash flow, because cash comes in, you give like immediately the cash out to the other person. Like your contract. Your offer must be clear, really simple. You get 50% of the money comes into me. Okay, thank you very much for watching. Please follow the channel.